Kevin Green served 17 years of a life sentence here, and he too swears he didn't commit the crime, beating his pregnant wife and killing their unborn baby. Your wife contends on that evening you had an argument, you struck her in the head with an object.
That did not happen. We did not have an argument. I did not strike her.
Close it up!
Could Kevin really be an innocent man, locked up by mistake? Listen to his story and judge for yourself. Back in 1979, Kevin was a Marine corporal with a clean and solid record and a beautiful new wife, Diana. This Tustin, California apartment complex, now slated for demolition, was their home. Diana was 9.5 months pregnant and due any day. And here's where Kevin's version of the story becomes both tragic and hard to believe. At 1:30 in the morning, he claims, he got a sudden urge to go out for a cheeseburger, left his wife resting alone in the apartment, and forgot to lock the door.
It took me a little while to get to the Jack in the Box and get my food, but it was about 40 minutes that I was gone.
When he returned, there was Diana, bloody, beaten, and unconscious. Kevin claims someone had slipped in while he was gone and brutally raped her. Diana was rushed to the hospital. Doctors didn't think she'd pull through. But after 3 weeks in a coma, she slowly regained her speech and her memory. But the baby she had carried for 9 months had died in her womb. What do you remember about that night?
Kevin came in and he wanted sex, and I told him he was crazy. I was 2 weeks past due. Then he punched me on my face. And
He
then,
hit you with his fist?
Mm-hmm. And then he reached to the dresser, which was behind him, picked his key caddy, and he hit me. But when he was bringing that down, that was the last thing I saw.
Kevin says that's not true. He claims Diana's head injury left her with a false memory of the evening. But the jury believed Diana and sent Kevin away for life. Yet, did they have all the facts? Because at the same time Kevin stood in judgment, there was something evil going on in the area. A serial rapist and murderer was loose in central Orange County. He was called the bedroom basher. He slipped into homes where women were alone, clubbed them in the head, and then raped them. 5 died. Could the bedroom basher have been waiting outside the Green apartment the night Kevin went out? Could he have attacked Diana? Nobody knew the answer to that question because the bedroom basher had never been caught. For 18 years, photos of his victims remained in the unsolved case files of the Tustin Police Department until a young detective joined the force. Tom Tarpley was specially trained in technology that wasn't even around in 1979, DNA matching. One of the unsolved murders, the rape of Deborah Kennedy, seems similar to the attack of Diana Green that sent husband Kevin to prison. Now, the Kennedy case was here and the Green case was here. The closeness of these two cases, I mean, just a few blocks apart. Did that cause you to see the similarity and know that these might be the same guy?
That's what caught my attention. When I looked at the Deborah Kennedy case file, there was mention of the Green case in that as well. And when I looked at the two addresses and how close they were, that's what made me feel in my heart that there was a connection between these two cases.
Could Green be in prison for a crime that was really committed by the serial rapist? Tarpley sends off the old evidence from the unsolved serial crimes, semen specimens.
These are 17 years old.
He's asked the crime lab to analyze the DNA. He's searching for a match with someone already in police files. Tarpley is anxious for the lab results. There is a match. It's Gerald Parker, a burglar who has been in and out of prison for years. And this is Gerald Parker's DNA profile. The lab says it's an exact DNA pattern of the semen from the bedroom basher.
Could you point them out for us, please?
The crime lab results had placed Parker on the scene of 4 unsolved murders of young women.
Now, what do we have here?
Parker admits to being the bedroom basher of Orange County, but there's more. Listen carefully. You're about to hear Parker's confession in court, where he admits to breaking into the Green apartment and brutally raping Kevin's pregnant wife, Diana.
Okay, I rushed towards the bed with the weapon in my right hand, and I hit her in the head.
Yeah, show me on the table again.
Okay. She's still breathing, but she's laboring in her breath. Then I realized she was pregnant. I didn't know this. Then I pulled my pants down, And I climbed on top of the bed in between the legs and proceeded to have intercourse.
The semen he left behind was collected in a rape kit, and when tested for DNA years later, would nail down the case. Incredibly, ex-wife Diana still stands by her story and even plans to sue him. She says Kevin knocked her out that night and fled the scene. While she was unconscious, Parker rushed in and raped her.
I know what Kevin did, and I don't know what Parker did. I don't know what he did. I didn't see him, so how do you know which one killed Chantel? I think it's both of them, what they did, killed Chantel.
What's more, Diana says they never had a happy home. She paints Kevin as a young and macho wife beater.
When he drank and he would smoke pot, he would get real violent. One, he had dragged me around the apartment holding my breasts.
If that sounds like the confused thoughts of a brain-injured woman, as Kevin contends, consider this. He admits her depiction of their marriage is not far off.
The stories about abuse on my part, there's enough there to be true, but it wasn't every day, and it wasn't that day.
In 1999, Kevin Green's ex-wife, Diana, continued to stand by her story, and she filed a wrongful death suit against Green.